Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And if you're in the gaming world, you have probably already heard the announcement that Valve is going to be launching their own handheld slash hybrid platform called the Steam Deck. Now, we do know that at retail for the base unit, which is going to come with 44 gigabytes of internal storage, not 44, 64 gigabytes of internal storage, is $399, $400. There are also other versions of this platform that are going to come with SSDs inside of them, one for 256 gigabytes of storage and the other for 512 gigabytes of storage. I believe that the 256 is priced at was it $539, and the 512 is priced at $600, $599. I could be wrong. I briefly saw it somewhere, and I don't remember the prices right off the top of my head. And there will be a dock for it that will be purchased separately after I read some of the stuff on the Steam Deck website. The dock itself is not fully finalized. So you can use the dock to play with the Steam Deck in a stationary position. You can also use it to connect it to different TVs and monitors. The Steam Deck's native resolution is 1280 by 800, which isn't too different from the Switch at 1280 by 720. One is a 16 by 9, the other is a 16 by 10. So, this brings to mind a couple things that I was already thinking. Now, if I'm correct on this, the Steam Deck dock is going to have hardware in it to boost the performance of the Steam Deck. Because Valve has it so that the Steam Deck can run games up to 4K when connected to the dock and connected to an outside screen. Now, if that's the case, that means the same thing that I've been talking about for a little while, that if Nintendo wants to boost the performance of the Switch, they will have to come out with a new dock that has hardware in it for it to do so. Another thing that makes me question, though, because if you plug the Steam Deck into the dock utilizing the USB-C, does that dock come with a controller? Because if you're going to be playing with this stationary in the dock, you're going to need a controller. Now, is the dock going to come with a gamepad for you to use? That's a question I wonder, because otherwise there's no purpose to you purchasing that dock unless they're just assuming you're already going to have controllers that work with it. That's not a good assumption, and I do think that it would be in Valve's best interest to make sure that they do include at least one controller with that dock. Now, obviously, people can have their own controllers and utilize them for it whenever they feel like. But I just think it's the best interest of everybody, at least for Valve, if that dock already has a controller coming with it. Because this could be somebody's first platform. And on top of that, you can use the Steam Deck as its own computer. It's utilizing an AMD APU. So it's a CPU with the graphics already built into it. I didn't pay attention to which one it was. It does have gyro controls. It has 2 thumbsticks and the same face buttons and D-pad. I don't like how that layout looks on it, but maybe depending on how it feels, I don't like how those sticks and buttons and the D-pad are laid out on it. Now, I'm hoping that means that at some point they'll have a revision of it where they change the placement, maybe make it more like the Wii U gamepad, because the way it's set up right now looks highly uncomfortable. But that aside, it's got all your standardized buttons. It has a touch panel I guess to simulate mouse and keyboard inputs while you have it portable. I think it also uses an OLED screen, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, but I think I read that. And again, it automatically has access to your Steam library once you log in on it. And it also, again, works as a portable PC. So from the sounds of it, it will be a pretty decent device. I'm not trying to take anything from it. Sounds like it'll be a workable, decent device to have and play games and stuff on. And I think, honestly, if you have a PC, this is probably your best companion to it other than a Nintendo Switch, where you could have all of your stuff already available for you to play. In the Switch, you just have a bunch of stuff that Nintendo has available. So, I mean, it looks decent from the onset. Now, I definitely do have to look more into it because, again, this is all stuff I'm saying off the top of my head from a cursory glance of the machine and the details that Valve provided. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to be a garbage machine or whatever, even though I do not like the placement of the D-pad and the joysticks or analog sticks. Because honestly, it's just the placement looks odd to me and it doesn't look like it would be very comfortable. Because I don't like the idea of playing with the buttons of a console right on the edge of the console. It just doesn't feel right. That said, it is definitely a more expensive alternative to the Nintendo Switch, OLED or base or light. It's a more expensive alternative, but maybe, just maybe, it has the performance that people are looking for that they keep complaining about that the Switch doesn't have. But it's also proven one thing to me. Valve probably tried to get this machine up and running handheld at 4K, and they could not do it without burning out the battery. Because it looks like, from what I read on it, that it has a very similar battery to the Nintendo Switch, and that's why it runs at 1280 by 800 rather than 4K from the jump. So, I mean, let's be honest here. Valve, if Valve can't do it and it be a successful thing, why is everybody expecting Nintendo to do it? Why is everybody expecting Nintendo to do it if Valve can't do it? And Valve has money coming in from a ton of different sources. So, I mean, y'all got to think about that one. But again, the machine itself, the idea behind it, I think it would be cool. I'm waiting to see and hear more about it because honestly, there's not a whole lot of information that was just sitting on their website that you can really gain a lot from. Then I also may have missed videos and things that are probably being published right now. So again, I still have to do more research into it. And I'll be talking about that on the Winging It podcast this Sunday over on Jay's channel at 7 in the evening. So you guys can, I hate when people do that with their cars. But I'll be talking about it this Sunday with the Winging It crew, and we'll all give you guys our thoughts on it. But this is where I'm so far. It looks like an interesting machine. It may have proven the theory that I had about Nintendo needing to just make a new dock for the Switch in order to be able to boost performance the way I think they could, because they would need hardware in the dock to be able to facilitate that. And if that is the case, and that is true, Valve just proved it for me. But I'm going to stop here. Thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out, everybody.